Hello and welcome to the Dutchin channel. You've obviously watched a few of my videos and see that I use this, which is an Excel spreadsheet, and the formulas that I use to give my winners. Well, I'm going to show you how to do this from a site called Equibase that are based in America. So we're going to work out a race that's perhaps going to be run today, only a small field, otherwise it will take too long to do the video. So the first thing we do is click on entries. So try and remember the name of this site. It's called equibase.com. So click on to entries and we're going to see all today's meetings come up. Alright, and we know it's the 16th. As you can see, they have plenty more meetings than we do. So we'll try and find one that's perhaps well known to a lot of people. So we'll have a look at Santa Anita. Now Santa Anita, there we go. That tells us there's a race in there today. And you've got to try and find out the calculator time, put that back into the UK. But that bit's not what I'm interested in at the moment. We don't want to go on and bet a maiden, just in case there's some horses that haven't run before and they don't give you the form here like you do in the UK. There's a claiming race. Might be the best one to do. What's this one? This is a stakes race. Right, we'll try this race for now, which was the second race in, which is race 2, post time 1:29 p.m. and I suppose that's something like Pennsylvania time or whatever that might be. I'm not too sure. If you know, you can give us a comment on that. So just at the top here, I'm going to put Santa Anita and race 2, just for now. Sweet Millie will be the first name. Then it will be Unkept Secret. Yo-Yo Mama. Gunja Galunja. Right. I think that's spelled right. I'm not going to bother with it anyway. Go back. And Glory of Chrome. Right, so you can see there's 5 runners going to post at the moment in this race. So we'll go from 6 down to 29 and just delete that because we don't need it at all. We've got a green box here, which I will show you as we get nearer the time, but we need to click on that first. And right at the end here, it says divided by 16. Cross that out or delete it and put 5 because that's how many runners that we've got in this race. And if the form goes well and everybody has run before, this here tells us what we think the estimated value of the race is in the winner's purse, or the winning stake basically. So what we're going to do next is we're going to click on Sweet Millie and up comes the form. We want to go on results, and it's only run 3 times, but at least it's run. I'm just a bit worried now that I might cross one that hasn't. Then you go to where it says chart, and this is going to be your form for that race, which it ran in here and finished first. Okay, I know it's a bit small. You can obviously make your font larger than that if you need it. And the form figures that I use is its last race is its first race, how many ran, where it finished, and the winning stake. That's not just the stake of the whole race, it's the winner's part. We know it came first, and there was 3, 6, 7 runners. I normally add these up manually, because by the time you've looked this side and found the highest number, it could have been a number and there could have been a non-runner. It could have said 8 there. So we've got 7 runners in that last race and finished first. The value of the race was 11,100, and the winning purse or the winning stake was 5,500. Now don't forget, this is in dollars. I'll show you how to change it all back to pounds, then you can equate to where that race would be run if it was in the UK. But we'll do that at the very end. So that's the first race that you work at. That was the last race that Sweet Millie ran in. So we'll now delete that, and we'll go back into here because we now want the second race down. I'm sorry I keep clicking on tabs that are open and forgetting where I'll put it. So this time Sweet Millie finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6. So 6 was the amount of runners and came 5th. If for some reason you see one that was disqualified, you leave it where it is. You don't put it last or put it where they put it. You leave it just as it is in the finish that you're looking at. And again, we go to the value of the race and we want the first part. So 8400. The only problems you will have with this is if there was a dead heat first, because they don't just halve the stake. They take the second stake and add it to the first, then divide. So it becomes complicated, but hopefully we won't cross that. So that was the second race there, and the third race, because the maximum you can do is 3 races to get an average. And again, Sweet Millie. See that now that there was one there talking about that, disqualified. But you leave it in first place. You don't worry about putting it wherever they say, because they don't tell you. And I'm quite happy to pretend it won anyway. So we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there were 6 runners and Sweet Millie finished 4th. The reason why I'm showing you this race in America is because to let you know that this system works in the UK, Australia, America. They're the 3 main countries, because you can go all round the clock if you could stay awake. You can bet in England. By the time that finishes, you know that the US is beginning to start, and when that ends, depending on the time of year, you might have an hour break or something, and then the Australian kicks in. But it will work. South Africa, France, all these main countries, as long as you can have a bet on your high street bookmaker or on the exchange, then that you can get the form for this. Right, so getting back to this race, 6 ran, it came 4th, and again the winner there, 8,400. So in US dollars, the rating of this horse will become 20,393. Now I'm going to let all these go to US dollars until the end, and then we will change it back to sterling. Right, so that's that horse's form done. The second horse is called Unkept Secret, and this works exactly the same. You go down until you see where it says a results tab, and this time you want the top 3. These will always be the latest races, but you can see that on the dates. And again, this one last time out. Unkept Secret, you can see there it's first. And again, there were 7 runners in that race. So 7 divided by 1. And the stake this time was $13,800 to the winner. And that's all you have to do. There's nothing else. Don't worry about whether it can't run onto Peter or fibre sand or whatever it might be, or when it's raining, or it can only go left-handed track, not a right-handed track. Forget what anybody tells you. This gives me a 57% winning rate. Sometimes it's more than that, but that's the average. And I say I don't know nothing about racing, I do, but I don't need to complicate things. I don't need to look at the winning time. I don't need to know whether that horse is over 1,000 meters and now it's 2,000 meters. None of that would interest me at all. The second race we'll see here is Unkept Secret, finished third. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, we put 7 in that column, 3 in the next column, and when we go to the value of the race, we can see it's 13,800 to the winner, the same as the race before. So we come out of that, and now we go into the third and last race form we're going to use for this horse. And once more, look, this time Unkept Secret had been disqualified. But we're not going to move that. We're still going to leave that as the winner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they do get a lot of disqualifications in the US. So first of 6 runners. And again, we come into the value of the race. The stake there, 13,200 to the winner. So in dollars, in the ratings column, we've now got 69,333. So out of just those 2 horses, we know that the second one is our selection of the 2. So when we delete this and then go back into here, you can see even though the live odds at the moment are both 5-2, the favourite at 8-5, stroke 6-4, or whatever you want to take, 13-8 there. This is going to be the favourite. So, are we going to have the best lines of form for this horse or not? But don't take much notice of these live odds in America, because these will take 30% off of the over round figure, if you like, of 100% that you would mostly get on something like Betfair. So you'd never want to take those prices, but in America they have to really use the tote. Right, so into Yo-Yo Mama, scroll down, again you want results, and the last 3 once more. So this time is finished second, and 5th. So we'll go into the chart, and we come down to the finishing order again, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know there were 7 runners, and we know it finished second. And this time we want to go on to the value of the race, which was 26,000, and the winning part again there was $15,000. So that's that line of form done. Click off that one and on to the second one down, another claiming race. Only 4 went to post this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 will be the amount that run, and second will be its finishing position. And the value of the race, the winner there received $18,000. I mean, at the end of this, you're not going to know how I get that ratings figure. You can guess or whatever. But if you want a free copy of this template, an email will be on the bottom of every video that I do. So you can just email me there and I will send you a free copy of this. Make sure you subscribe at the same time as well, please. So that there comes out and we move into the third race. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 runners. The horse finished 5th, and the stakes this time to the winner was 37,800. So a better class race all round. And there we go. The ratings at the end is 49,660. So not as good as Unkept Secret. But of course, it doesn't mean that when I've done this, you've all got a lump on Unkept Secret, because a 50% win over a period of time is not 100% on one race. But this will just be that you can look at the result and then look back at this and think, was it a long way out? And then try to do some races yourself. But always do them in advance, because if you do them when they've already run, you can't use the last line of form. So it gets a little bit complicated again. And luckily we haven't found a dead heat yet. Right, Gunja Lunja. I think that's how you'd pronounce this. And the result. There we go. There's the results. We want to go in the charts. We can see it's finished 3rd, 7th and 1st in its last 3 outings. And down the finishing order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 ran and finished 3rd. And again, the value of the race, $15,000 to the winner. And that gives you the first line of form. So we cancel that. And now we're going to the second line of form. And this time it's finished last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And another thing I need to tell you as well, which hasn't happened. But let's say in Britain you have a horse that's pulled up, run out, fell, brought down. All these become last. It doesn't matter if it was unlucky, don't complicate it. Even if it was 20 lengths clear coming to the last and it fell, it doesn't matter. If 10 ran, it finished 10th. So back into the value of this race, and it's $24,180 to the winner. And again, you can cancel that and go into its 3rd race down, where it won. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 ran and it finished 1st. And again, this time, the value of the race, $23,400 to the winner. And there we go. That rating is 82,127. So that now is our leader. We'll go back into this, and you can see that this is 3-1, but these four are very, very close. I don't think this is going to open 8-5. I think this is going to be quite tricky between those four at the top. But now we're going to be working out the fifth horse, which according to this is 12-1. So this is going to be, I would think, the outsider, but I'm not going to be able to be sure on it. Let's have a look at the results. It's finished 5th, 4th and 4th. But because we don't know the value of the races yet until we go on it, yes, we could say, oh, I don't like those finishing orders. But let's see how much or what kind of class race they're running. And when I mean class of race, I mean just the value of how much it runs for in money terms. So let's have a look at the finishing order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 ran. Be handy if I'd have moved that before I went over it. Right. 6 ran, finished 5th. And you will see there that again $15,000 was the winning purse. So we cancel that. We go now into the second line down a form. And this time there was only 5 runners and it came 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ran, finished 4th, and the winning purse was $15,000. And our last line of form in all the 5 that we're going to do is, let's have a look. Again, a very small amount of runners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ran, finished 4th, and 15,000 was the winning purse yet again. And I don't know if you saw, as I pressed that last one, some numbers sort of changed everywhere. So now what I'm going to show you is what that green box now means and what these numbers here mean. First of all, I'm going to put these 5 in ratings order. First selection to last selection. Okay, that's done. Right, now the green box tells us in dollars how much we think that race should be run for the winner. So $12,001. We'll cancel that. We'll go back into the race here. Now normally they only have, which you can see there, is the purse. All right, of 25,000. And normally in the US, 50% of that will be for the winner. Not always, that can be for the winner. So if we halved that, it would say that purse was worth 12,500 to the winner. And then when we go back into here, we know, because we've made it around 12,000, that race has got the right horses in it. Now over here, I call this column, which is column Z, my SP. This tells me what I think the horse should be priced at. Now I can be, this could be 20-1 and I make it even money, right? It's only a guideline for me, nobody else. So the top selection where I've got Gunja, Alunja, I make this, if it was a Betfair price of 2.92, or in terms it would be 15-8. Now when we go back into this runners, we know it says 3-1. So 15 to 8 isn't that far out, but I make that my favourite. Nobody else's, my favourite. Then I've got Unkept Secret in second at 3.46, which is between 9 to 4 and 5 to 2. And you can see that it's 5 to 2. Our third selection would be Yo-Yo Mama, and we've got that at 4.83, which would be around 7 to 2. And this is the 13 to 8, roughly their favourite. So that's our third selection. Our fourth selection would be Sweet Millie, but we've got 11.77, which is 10 to 1. So we're not sure that this would be any kind of value taking 5 to 2. And our last selection, Glory of Chrome, which we saw on there, was 12 to 1. If you look at this now, we've got 12.97, which is 3 spots off of 12 to 1. So that's how close it is sometimes when you're looking at the SP in America and then doing your own SP. Now, I'm not saying that horse is going to win tonight, so don't start all jumping on and thinking, brilliant, brilliant. This is just what I'm showing you. Now, the next thing I want to do is change these ratings back to the UK. So we've got another tab here, right, which is called Currency Exchange. Now, because it's starting off in the US and not the UK, we go to the bottom half here. And down on where it says United States, to change that back to a pound, you need 1.7841. And this is based from 1999 when the euro came out. Just so I've got a better idea of what the winning purses were in 1999 from English to Irish before they changed it. But then when it all sort of got silly and 1 to 1 and all that, then there's not a lot of difference now. And I don't believe that their races are valued more than what ours are. So, from this United States, we need to turn this back into sterling now from the US dollar. So what we do, because we know the dollar there is 178.41, we keep it on here. We come up here, and at the end where it's got divide by 3, we're now going to divide by 1.7841. You don't have to do this, you can just use the US form, that's good. Right, but when we turn that back into sterling, that's going to give us an idea now that our favourite is going to be 46,033. So you can equate that to now an English race. So where I've now got the stakes here of £6,726, you know the value of that race in England would be somewhere in the region of a class 4. I don't use classes, but I know roughly what the pounds are. But you can sometimes get a class 6 classified stakes, which is the worst. You can get that for 7,851 to the winner. So I never use classes, but that will just give you an idea. If one of these horses was sold from the US and came back to the UK, you would know roughly in your head where that's going to fit in. So now your ratings are in English. All right, so I know roughly where they would fit in. 46,000 tells me that would be around a class 4, and here 10,000 would be somewhere in the region of a top of a class 6. All right, so that's basically how you do it. I'm not going to do any more. I'm just showing you that one for information purposes. And if you've got any questions or any comments, I've got an email address, as I say, that will come up at the bottom of this video. And you can get this template for free. Everything's there for you. But you saw how long it took to work that race out. Because I've been doing it a long time, I would expect a 5-horse race to take me somewhere in the region of 7.5 minutes. And the reason I say 7.5 is because I normally say to myself 1.5 minutes per horse. That includes getting the template right, getting all the horses correct, changing them round to descending order. So I'd like to say that would take me 7.5 minutes. So if you've got a card there tonight like they have, let's have a quick look. I don't know if it was 10 races or something. They've got 9 races, right? So they've got 6, 11, 16, 22, 31, 37, 45, 52, 62. So basically 62 minutes there before you go to the other half. It's around 90 minutes or an hour and a half of your time to work out the whole card. So it isn't easy when I sit here on a Saturday and I have to work out 6 cards, because it can take me up to 9 hours. And sometimes I start at 6 o'clock in the morning and I've continued from the night before. That's if I wanted to bet in every race at every meeting. But if you want to narrow it to one meeting, this should take you about an hour and a half to get the results of all the horses. But you don't need to change this back into English. You can leave that as it was. I'll just delete them all. And I'll put that back, as you can see there, into US dollars. So if you're from America and you want to try this, then give me, just send me an email and we can have a chat about it on there. And if you're in Australia, I will do an Australian one at some point. But for now, I'm going to leave it there and enjoy your day or your night. Thank you.